It's no secret that I enjoy visiting San Francisco. Though it might surprise the people who took a break from cable news to watch my video, I really do enjoy the diversity in transit options, not just in the city, but in the entire Bay Area. Ferries, trolley buses, big heavy trains, light rail, and heritage streetcars, and of course, the famous cable cars. If you've followed me for a while, you know I love these. But did you know that there's another cable car on the other side of the bay? To find it, we will have to take BART. So come with me to Civic Center UN Plaza Station. Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new Trains Are Awesome video. I'm Tom, I'm in San Francisco, California, and today it's time for another trip on BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit. Civic Center is one of 4 stations underneath Market Street that is shared between Muni Metro, San Francisco's light rail system, and BART, the regional rapid transit system. Muni trains run on the top level of the tunnel, BART on the bottom. To get to the BART platforms, we walk down a closed staircase through the Muni platforms. BART is an iconic system. I mean, it's a subway and it's like regional rail all mixed into one. Behind me, that is a typical BART train. Broad gauge, very large, long trains. So to ride the other cable car, we have to take the blue or green lines towards Oakland. Here comes our train now. I'm definitely a new train guy, but I have to say I miss the legacy BART cars.
Now boarding at Civic Center. Arriving at Montgomery Street. The doors on this car are obstructed. Please stand clear of the doors so the train can depart.
We're running through the Transbay Tube now, the tunnel connecting San Francisco with communities on the East Bay. BART is such a fascinating system. Its scale is just massive. Not just the size of the trains, which run on a broad gauge, but also just the extent of this network. It goes all over the region, reaching cities as far as Richmond, Antioch, Dublin, or San Jose. I understand why some people insist on calling it a type of S-Bahn. The BART system has some oddities too. While most trains are electric and run on broad gauge, there is also the E-BART, a standard gauge diesel train that runs on a 9-mile extension of the Yellow Line. One of my favorite videos I've ever made, by the way. You should check it out. But there is another BART line that is different from the rest, the shuttle to Oakland Airport, a short spur only 3 miles or 5 kilometers long. And we've just arrived at Oakland Coliseum station to ride it. Alright, we've made it to Coliseum Station in Oakland, California. This is an important station. Not only does it serve the Coliseum, which is where the Oakland A's play, for now, it's also a transfer station to Amtrak, and you can transfer to Oakland Airport here. And to do that, we have to transfer to a different BART line. It's right over there. To get to the Oakland Airport shuttle, you have to go up to the overpass and then through the fare gates. Wait, what? I thought this was an in-network transfer. It is, but you pay here. I'll explain later. Now we've arrived at the platform, one of only 2 BART platforms in the entire system with platform screen doors. The platform also features a ticket machine, which has to do with that fare gate we passed through earlier. But first, let's discuss why I call this a cable car. Well, just look at the tracks. There's a cable that hauls these trains. This line was built to connect the BART system with Oakland International Airport. It's why I like to call it the O-BART. The other weird BART line is E-BART, so this should be O-BART. The O-BART replaced the Air BART, a BART-branded bus that ran from Coliseum to the airport. This bus was always late and never followed schedule because it would just get stuck in traffic. So the train was built and it opened in 2014, making the connection to the airport much quicker. An airport, by the way, that I will always associate with the show Full House.
Excuse me, where's this flight going to?
Oakland. Oakland? That's right across the bay. Why don't they just drive there?
The shuttle is treated as a full-fledged part of the BART system. As we saw, it's even on the map. I swear it used to be beige, but now it's gray. There are some differences though, the most obvious one being the technology of the trains themselves. Yeah, they have a BART logo slapped on them, but they don't really look like the other BART trains. They're much smaller, and they're driverless. The tracks look different too. The cars have rubber tires and they run on a steel guideway. Rather than having any traction equipment on the train, instead they are attached to a cable, and it's the cable that pulls the train forward. There are 4 cables along the route. About halfway through the trip, we reach the Doolittle Maintenance Facility, more commonly known as the Wheelhouse. This little building was supposed to be a station, but the station was never built, but for now it's where the equipment that moves the cables is stored. Pretty much a modern version of what you can see at the Cable Car Museum. Here we come to a stop. The train coming in the other direction stops here too. It might seem like an unnecessary stop, but it has a good reason. Our first cable has just brought us here. If you look down out the front window, you will see that the train automatically switches to the next cable.
Departing for Oakland International Airport. Please hold on.
The train switched cables at the 2 stations and here at the Wheelhouse. So now we're off on the second half of our 8-minute journey. The O-BART has brought travel time from Coliseum to the airport down to about half of what it used to be, but it's not a cheap ride. Civic Center to Coliseum costs $5.20, but to get to the airport, it costs $12.65. The funny thing is, there are no fare gates at Oakland Airport. You can just walk straight out. The fare gates were at Coliseum. If you go through the gate right before the O-BART platform, the system charges you as if you've already gone to the airport, because the only place you can really go to is the airport. There's no other exit.
Attention passengers, please be reminded that smoking and eating are not permitted within the BART system.
It's the same way the other way around. By going through the fare gates as you transfer, the system registers that you started your journey at the airport and charges you accordingly. I guess you could ride for free if you got on at the airport and then just stayed on and rode back.
This train is approaching Oakland International Airport. Please start at your belongings and prepare to exit to all terminals. Oakland International Airport.
That was a much longer ride than I thought it was going to be. So then once you arrive here, all you have to do is go down the stairs and walk towards the airport. Now there are no fare gates here. We went through the fare gates at Coliseum Station. At first I was a little bit confused about that, but now it makes sense. You know, this feels like an accomplishment. I haven't been on the whole BART network yet, but I have now been on all 3 modes. The regular big trains, the diesel shuttle, and the weird little airport cable car. Also, I believe there's a surcharge to travel here. It was $12 to get here from San Francisco. Now I'm going to San Jose. That's going to be another $13. I will never complain about Washington Metro fares again. But if you have it in your hearts to check out my Patreon, I'd be very grateful. Because I don't actually have to be at Oakland Airport. I just wanted to ride this train.
Oakland International Airport.
right, now let's take it back to Coliseum. We'll end the video there.
Coliseum Station. Please gather your belongings and exit.
All right, I'm back on the main BART platforms. I'm headed to San Jose, but this is where I will end the video for right now. That was a fun little system. Now I've been on all 3 modes of BART. It fully and completely is a part of BART, even though it looks like an airport people mover, which I think is really funny. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Trains Are Awesome for more cool content like this. We'll see you next time.